Hi, this is Nina and welcome to day 2 of my video series, 5 videos on how to embrace your highly sensitive nature. So yesterday I talked a little bit about what high sensitivity is and why highly sensitive people are so important for society. Today I'm going to be talking about how to find out whether you are highly sensitive or not, and I'll give you a very quick and easy way of working out if you're highly sensitive. Just quickly, if you missed the first video, you'll be able to find that one, day 1, in the links or in the feed below this video. So please do go back and watch that if you need to or if you missed it. So, on to today. How to work out whether you're highly sensitive. So there's a lovely acronym which goes by DOES. And if you have all 4 of these characteristics that I'm about to give you, then you are highly sensitive. But in order to be highly sensitive, you need to have all 4 of them, even if it's to a small extent. If you have some of them, which is very likely, but not all of them, then you're not highly sensitive. So, the acronym DOES. The D stands for depth of processing. Highly sensitive people think very deeply about things. They're the ones with the busy brains, and they're always thinking, and they're relating what they're thinking about to things that happened in the past, things that might happen in the future. So they're always thinking, which can lead to the O of DOES, which stands for overstimulation and overwhelm. Obviously, if you're thinking a lot about things all of the time, then it can become too much, and it's like, oh, there's too much going in my head. And it feels sometimes that it's like your head's like a volcano about to erupt, and one more thing is just too much. And I think the O of DOES and of highly sensitive people is what a lot of people tend to think of when they think of sensitivity. It's the overwhelm, that the sensitive person is overwhelmed and fragile. But this is one small part of high sensitivity. So the E of the DOES stands for 2 things. So it stands for emotional intensity. Now, we talked yesterday about how if you're highly sensitive, you have a highly sensitive brain that's wired differently. You also have a very highly responsive nervous system, which means that you do actually genuinely feel things to a greater extent than non-highly sensitive people. And so this can work in a positive and a negative way. So it means that a lot of highly sensitive people get too upset by watching the news. I know I certainly do, because they just feel things really, really deeply. But it also means in a positive way that I believe highly sensitive people see sunsets in high definition, glorious technicolor, whereas the rest of the population probably just see it in plain old colour. And it also means highly sensitive people really appreciate music and a piece of poetry or a beautiful piece of artwork, and it's because that they have this heightened ability to actually feel things and notice things and see things. So the E also stands for empathy. So when a highly sensitive person isn't in overwhelm, they have the capacity to be amazingly empathic, which means that they can pick up on the emotions and feelings of the other people around them. And this is a real strength for highly sensitive people. The S stands for sensitive to subtleties, which is just a complicated way of saying that highly sensitive people notice small things that others miss. So this could be anything from, somebody walks in a room and they're feeling a little bit down, so the empathy will come in there as well, but the highly sensitive person will notice it, to, somebody's just had a haircut or the room's been rearranged, or it could mean in a work scenario that somebody comes and presents how they're going to do the project for the next quarter, and the highly sensitive person just thinks, okay, they've noticed something in there that everybody else misses, and they go, you know what, that's not going to work like that. We'll need to change it so it works this way. So the sensitive to subtleties is a very important part of the trait as well. And we talked yesterday about how high sensitivity confers an evolutionary advantage. So the sensitive to subtleties is a very important part of that too. So that was a very quick way, the DOES, of how to work out whether you're highly sensitive. Remember, you have to have all of these: depth of processing, which can lead to overwhelm and overstimulation, emotional intensity and empathy, and the sensitive to subtleties. And you have to have all of these to be thought of as a highly sensitive person. Now, Elaine Aron, who's a psychologist who gave this trait its name, high sensitivity, in the 1970s, She has a lovely website called www.hsperson.com, and she's got various questionnaires on there which you can fill in to work out whether you're highly sensitive or not. But I've just given you a very quick way of working out if you are highly sensitive. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about some of the shadows of being highly sensitive. It's not all a bed of roses, as I'm sure you'll know if you are highly sensitive. And I'm going to be talking about not only the shadows, but also I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to stay out of the shadows and in your highly sensitive strengths. So please come back tomorrow to watch day 3. And as always, before you go, if you've found the content useful today, please do like and share these videos, because I'd really love you to help me raise awareness of this very important trait. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 3.